Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. I am delighted to welcome you to this presentation. Today, we will be discussing risk considerations for product quality assessments. My name is Dr. S.K. Singh, and I hold a PhD in this field. Over the course of this session, we will explore key factors that impact product quality evaluations and how to effectively manage associated risks. So, let's get started and dive into this important topic together. Welcome to this section on risk considerations for product quality assessments. Here, we focus on the importance of systematically identifying, evaluating, and controlling potential risks that could impact the safety, efficacy, and consistency of a product. These assessments are essential because they help us understand what factors might go wrong and how to prevent issues before they reach the patient. We pay particular attention to critical areas such as raw material quality, manufacturing processes, equipment used, storage conditions, and distribution practices. Each of these factors plays a vital role in ensuring the final product meets the required standards. By applying principles of quality risk management, we can prioritize risks according to their severity, likelihood of occurrence, and how easily they can be detected. This prioritization allows us to implement targeted control measures effectively, focusing our resources where they are needed most. Ultimately, this approach helps us maintain product quality throughout its entire life cycle. It not only safeguards patient safety, but also ensures compliance with regulatory standards, which is fundamental to our overall mission of delivering safe and effective products. Let's talk about the risk considerations involved with pharmaceutical products. Essentially, this means identifying and evaluating potential risks that could impact the safety, efficacy, and quality of a medicine throughout its entire life cycle. These risks can originate from various sources, including raw materials, manufacturing processes, formulation, storage conditions, distribution, and ultimately, patient use. To manage these risks effectively, we use a systematic approach based on quality risk management. This involves assessing risks by looking at their severity, the likelihood of occurrence, and how easily they can be detected. Such an approach helps us prioritize the most critical issues and implement control measures accordingly. Some of the key considerations include contamination, variability in product quality, stability concerns, labeling errors, and improper handling or storage. To keep risks in check, continuous monitoring, validation, and strict adherence to regulatory guidelines are essential. Ultimately, effective risk management ensures that our pharmaceutical products remain safe, effective, and consistently high in quality. This not only protects patient health, but also reinforces trust in the medicines we provide. Let's talk about product quality assessments. These are systematic evaluations, meaning they follow a structured process to make sure that a product consistently meets the necessary standards. These standards cover safety, efficacy, and overall quality. When we conduct these assessments, we review critical elements like raw materials, manufacturing processes, formulation, quality control tests, stability data, and packaging. A key point here is that we take a science and risk-based approach. This means we use scientific principles and assess potential risks to identify what could impact product quality. Often, this approach is guided by quality risk management, helping us focus on the most critical factors. We pay special attention to critical quality attributes, or CQAs, which are the specific properties that must be controlled to ensure product quality. Process validation and robust control strategies are also essential. They help us verify that manufacturing processes are reliable and consistent. Another vital aspect is thorough documentation and ensuring compliance with regulatory requirements. This documentation not only supports our assessments, but also helps us meet the strict standards set by regulators. Ultimately, the goal of these assessments is to ensure product consistency, gain regulatory approval, and most importantly, deliver safe and effective products to patients. This process is a cornerstone of quality assurance across the entire product lifecycle. Product quality-related statutory and regulatory requirements are essentially the legal rules and guidelines that manufacturers need to follow to ensure their products are safe, effective, and of high quality. These requirements are set by both national laws and international regulatory bodies, and they cover a wide range of areas like manufacturing practices, quality control, proper documentation, labeling, and distribution processes. It's crucial that we comply with standards such as Good Manufacturing Practice, or GMP, and frameworks like quality risk management. These are the foundations that help us meet our legal and quality obligations. Regulatory authorities enforce these requirements through inspections, approvals, and continuous monitoring to make sure standards are maintained. By adhering to these statutory and regulatory expectations, we not only protect the integrity of our products, but also ensure patient safety. Plus, following these guidelines helps our products gain acceptance worldwide, which is essential in today's global pharmaceutical landscape. Let's talk about the evidence supporting product quality-related requirements. Essentially, this refers to the documented data and scientific justification we use to demonstrate that a product consistently meets the established quality standards. This evidence is crucial because it forms the basis for regulatory approval and ongoing compliance. Typically, this includes data from process validation, analytical testing, stability studies, and quality control results. It also involves documentation such as batch records, standard operating procedures, commonly known as SOPs, and audit reports. Collectively, these pieces of evidence help confirm that the product is safe, effective, and manufactured under controlled, consistent conditions. Another key point is that applying principles of quality risk management helps us ensure that the evidence we generate is relevant, reliable, and focused on the most critical quality attributes. Overall, this type of evidence is the foundation that allows us to demonstrate product quality throughout its entire life cycle, from development to market. It's about ensuring confidence in our product every step of the way. Now, let's take a closer look at product quality assessment and overall pre-marketing benefit, risk assessment. Essentially, these processes are about making sure that a product not only meets the necessary quality standards, but also offers benefits that outweigh any potential risks before it reaches the market. When we talk about product quality assessment, we're focusing on critical aspects like the formulation itself, how it's manufactured, its stability over time, and whether it complies with established standards such as Good Manufacturing Practice, or GMP. This thorough evaluation helps ensure that the product is consistently safe and effective. On the other hand, the benefit, risk assessment involves examining clinical data, safety profiles, and how well the product performs therapeutically. The goal here is to determine its overall value to patients, balancing the potential benefits against any possible risks. Regulators use approaches like quality risk management to guide their decisions. This systematic process helps them decide whether a product is ready for approval, ensuring that only those that are safe, effective, and of high quality reach the public. Overall, these assessments are fundamental to maintaining the integrity of the pharmaceutical development process, and most importantly, to protecting patient safety and well-being. This is a key part of the broader theme of ensuring that innovations in healthcare are both beneficial and responsibly introduced to the market. Let's now look at the principles for product quality assessments. These principles provide a structured approach to ensure that our products consistently meet the necessary standards of safety, efficacy, and quality. They serve as a guide throughout the entire product lifecycle, helping us evaluate all aspects of the product from development to commercialization. One of the key aspects is adopting a science-based and risk-based approach. This means our decisions are driven by solid scientific evidence and the application of quality risk management, which helps us identify and mitigate potential risks early on. Understanding critical quality attributes and establishing robust manufacturing processes are also essential. These ensure that the product remains consistent and effective. Furthermore, implementing effective control strategies and maintaining comprehensive documentation are vital. Process validation and continuous monitoring demonstrate that our processes stay consistent and compliant with regulatory expectations. Overall, these principles are fundamental to embedding quality into the product from the very beginning. They help us maintain high standards, safeguard patient health, and ensure our products meet global regulatory requirements. When it comes to handling unresolved quality issues, it's important to follow a structured and risk-based approach. These are issues that we can't fully resolve before the product is released or a regulatory decision is made. So, each issue must be carefully evaluated to understand how it might affect the safety, efficacy, and overall quality of the product. A key part of this process is applying quality risk management. This helps us assess both the severity of the issue and the likelihood of it occurring. Based on this assessment, we can decide whether the product can still be approved or released, provided we implement appropriate controls to manage the risk. Mitigation measures are crucial here. They might include additional testing, enhanced monitoring, or implementing corrective and preventive actions, what we call CAPA. Sometimes, we need to impose specific conditions during approval to ensure continued safety and quality. All unresolved issues should be clearly documented and justified with scientific rationale. It's also important to track these issues until they are satisfactorily resolved. This approach not only ensures transparency and regulatory compliance, but also protects patient safety and maintains high product quality standards throughout the process. Let's now look at the conclusions of the product quality assessment. Essentially, this summary captures the overall findings from our evaluation of the product's quality. It confirms whether the product meets the necessary standards for safety, efficacy, and consistency. These conclusions are based on a thorough review of various factors, including manufacturing processes, control strategies, analytical data, stability studies, and regulatory compliance. It's important to note that we integrate scientific evidence and apply principles of quality risk management throughout this process. This helps us determine if any risks identified are sufficiently controlled. We also consider any unresolved issues and evaluate their potential impact on the product's quality. Ultimately, this conclusion provides a clear regulatory decision, whether the product is acceptable for approval or release. The goal is to ensure that only high-quality products reach patients, while also maintaining strict compliance with established standards. This step is crucial in safeguarding public health and ensuring trust in our products. For further support, please feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help with any questions or additional information you might need. Don't hesitate to get in touch. Your success is our priority. Thank you so much for your attention and engagement throughout this presentation. We truly appreciate your time and interest.